Hello and welcome to another episode of the Z-Tune Conversion. So the car is almost done. There's a couple of things that we need to spray on it. The bonnet for one, the rear lights and wing mirrors and things like that, but not a lot to do. So we're not going to film that. We're going to wait until it is totally finished to show you guys. But what we are going to do today is we are going to sort out those wheels. So they're finally sprayed. And all we need to do now is put them back together and put tyres on them. So let's have a look. So to save some time, I've done 3 already. Now, they're not torqued up yet and we haven't actually sealed them, but this is what they're going to look like when they're done. So a bit of disclaimer here, guys. Basically, these are not BBS wheels. These are actually WRD Adamas. They're about £3,000 new and they are very rare. So what actually happened when I decided to paint these, I had to take the centre caps off, and what happened was one of them actually got cracked, and because they're so rare I was unable to find another set, so we're going to just say they're BBS's and go from there. And they do look good with those centre caps, and I don't really care. It's better than having nothing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get the centres into the barrels with these nuts.
Got him! Got him!
But we've kind of cheated here because the seal was so good before I removed them, I didn't actually have to split the rims. But just for safety, we are going to reseal the outside to make sure that there isn't any leaks, because they have been moving around quite a bit in the spray booth. So here are all the tools that you need to get this done. You need obviously a torque wrench set to either 25 foot-pounds or 34 Newton meters, because you need to make sure that every single nut is exactly torqued the same, because you don't want a buckled wheel, do you? Also, you need one of these adapters. You need some socket wrenches and some sockets. Our screws here, these are 8mm, so we've got 8mm socket wrench, and the nuts, they're 13, so we've got 13 socket wrench. Also, we've got some tiger seal to seal the 3-piece wheels up, and we've also got a sander on our drill. We also got some thread locks. Now, some of you might think that that's a good idea. I did think it was a good idea, but now I think it's a bit overkill. Once I've actually done since I've done a couple of them, I don't think that they're much needed, but it's not going to do any harm, is it, if you use them. Right, let's get started. So first of all, you need to prep these wheels. So we're going to use this sander, and we're going to grind out the tops of the holes, and then we're going to grind out the outside as well, so we can get a good seat. So let's do it. Now we're going to sand the edge. Obviously you don't need to actually sand it all the way down to bare metal, really. You just want to get the surface off and make sure that it's all smooth. Then you put this in, and it's not going to sit down perfectly, but what you need to do is get all of the bolts in and then slowly tighten it up and it will slide itself in. Right, so let's get the bolts in. Now obviously it's a tight fit, so you just got to wind them down. You obviously could push them in, but that could dent the nut, so just slowly wind them in one by one. Or we'll first put them in actually, and then we'll go around winding them on. And now you just wind them in slowly, every single one. So right now you might have a couple of questions. One is, why have we put them all in and not just a couple on either side? And the second question might be, why didn't I actually wind them up in a cross pattern? Now firstly, you don't need to wind things up in a cross pattern until you're torquing them up. When you're just placing them in or you're just screwing them up to try and seat this, you can go in a circular motion. The next thing is, why do we put all of them in instead of just a couple? Now the reason for that is we now know that this is seated properly, correctly, and also there's another reason, and I'll show you in a minute. Right, the next reason is this: it hasn't actually seated correctly, the centre bit, and you can see you can't get any thread on it. So by putting all of them in, you can find the nearest one that you can actually put a nut on, and you can slowly pull and seat this in place, because it is a very tight fit, especially because we sprayed it. So let's do that now. So there you have it. So what we've done is we've slowly got to this bit where we weren't able to actually get a knot on, and now we can get knots on all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the center one in, and then we can pull the center alloy in from this section here, and then we can start winding them all up. This is going to pull this side down, more. That will do. We'll get the rest of the nuts on. Right, so this is not actually torqued down, so this all this is bolted up to get the centre sort of relatively in place. To actually torque the wheels, you need a friend. So what we're going to do is we'll pack all these up now, and we'll go to Merritt's Tyres, where they're going to put the tyres on, and we'll get Jules to help us out to torque these wheels up. Let's go. Right, we're here. Let's have a look what's going on. Hello mate.
Hello mate.
How you doing?
Not bad, you?
Right, we're ready to get these tyres on.
We are. Let me just throw this bit of hose bar in the engine.
Fair enough. What's that for?
Put the gearbox all in.
Oh, what? You can do it from the top here. Okay, fair enough.
Goes down to the back of the rear diff, and then
yeah.
there's a bolt hole there. 17mm bolt. Get your fun and you tip it in, boy.
Oh, not bad.
So we'll do that after. Let's go get your wheels done.
Okay, cool.
Hello. Let's go.
So all that's happened is I've bolted it in, so we need to torque it down and we need to put the sealant on around the side, and then we can put the tyres on. They're 8, so I've got them here.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think it's all angels just walk by. 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 There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my there goes a sight. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul.
And these are them all done, all ready to go on the car. Can't wait.